All right, guys, Tech Tip Tuesday. Eric with the Loop. Today we're actually going to have a little bit of fun on this Tuesday. We're going to answer some technical questions that came in through our videos. So we're going to hit these one at a time. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay. First one is from Greg. Greg, you had some questions about upgrading your Wi-Fi and your integrator. You guys having to take down all of your Nest smoke detectors, reset them, join the new SSID or network name. Absolute pain. We hear it. We know exactly what you're talking about. So here's the trick for those out there that are doing this. First thing is, remember that this is why you want to own your Wi-Fi. This is why you don't want your internet provider to be providing that wireless modem router or that wireless, because then if anything changes, for example, if that device fails and they're providing it, you're just in a tough place, because then what's going to happen is you have to relearn everything. When you own the gear, then you're in control of that. So Greg, what you want to do in those situations is in the router itself or in that wireless setting page, you want to go and create a second wireless network, a new one. So Greg's new network or Greg's second network. Then what you'll be able to do is go into each device and join the new network. Okay, so you actually go into there, create a second SSID, create a second actual broadcasting network. So then when you do a Wi-Fi scan, you'll see both your previous network and your new network. You'll be able to go into each device, join the new network, be ready to go. Easiest way to move those kinds of things over, okay, you guys? That applies across the board when you're putting in a new Wi-Fi system, okay? Next question, we're actually gonna go right back to you, Greg. You had a great one on Ruckus. And what about Ruckus versus Arachnus? So we are actually a dealer for both Ruckus and Arachnus. Arachnus makes some great products. We've just found that their Wi-Fi doesn't really compete well with Ruckus. We actually just did an Arachnus install of Wi-Fi about a month ago, and it was the same situation that we've typically had where we put it in, things look good at first. Once it was in for a couple days, the client started having some issues. We ended up having to go in and change settings and recalibrate things and these other things in the network that the network just wasn't smart enough to manage on its own. It's not that we're not capable of doing it, but our concern is that when your environment changes, we want your Wi-Fi to adapt as that environment changes. That's what we've noticed is the big difference with Ruckus. When we configure Ruckus, we get it set up, we configure channels, multiple access points, get the whole thing set up, it just works. Other than doing firmware updates for security, the system just continues to work. We just did an install about 2 weeks ago on a 13,000 square foot home here in Boise, and they had 7 antennas throughout the home, and they have unfaltered Wi-Fi throughout the entire home, including their whole pool area. So Ruckus just works every time. That's why we like it. That's why we continue to recommend it for our clients. Okay? So you did have one other question on that, Greg, that I want to touch on. Your other question was about remote rebooting. So yes, we do have that option because of us partnering with Arachnus and Oversee on the remote management side, meaning that we can get a lot of that functionality from within our Oversee, what we call our ProCare platform. And we'll put a link right down here to it. So go down here, there's a link down here to our ProCare. You can read up on it, find out about it. But with ProCare, we do have that ability to reboot everything. If it's Ruckus and it's what is called their Unleashed product line, we can also log in and reboot those remotely also. So yes, that has a functionality, although we would say that if you have to reboot something, you may have a quality problem or something else going on. So a lot of times with Ruckus, we just don't reboot it. We've had Ruckus systems in for 300, 400 days of online time. Never once needed a reboot. That's the other reason we love them. Okay? So we're just gonna keep going down this list here. I did want to touch down on our Dish network versus Direct TV. So Dish and Direct, I hope I got them the right way. Direct, Dish, whichever way it was. So on those services, great questions came through on those. Absolutely great questions. The biggest one, and I've been hearing this since I got into this industry back in the early 2000s, of why don't our channels go a la carte? Why do I have to buy 200 channels when I really only watch 5? So here's why. And this is an inside secret, so you know. The reason is because all those channels you don't watch, the broadcaster like DirecTV uses the advertising on those to pay for those really expensive channels that everybody watches. So by offering 200 channels, they can then go to their advertisers and say, look, we have a channel specifically for Spanish speaking, interior basket weaving, underwater swim, diving, whatever, they have a channel for it. So then they can advertise to it and collect advertising dollars. Okay? If they only had 5 or 6 channels, those channels would be $50 or $100 per month per channel, because they wouldn't have that advertising revenue. So yes, I agree with you, but the easiest thing is in the guide, you can actually go into the guide of both DirecTV and Dish and customize that guide and hide all those channels that you never want to deal with. That's the best way. Then we're getting the price and we're not having to deal with all those channels. Okay? And our other one comes from Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you very much for your feedback on DirecTV. Yes, we are fans of DirecTV. We think it's amazing. We are also fans of Dish. We love both of them. We agree with you. DirecTV, quality of content is a bit better. They have more 4K content. They have some other features on the back end that are definitely valuable. They are significantly more expensive in most cases than Dish. So it's really a personal preference as to which one they like the best. But yes, either platform, in our experience here in Boise, the big thing we recommend is just not to go with our local cable provider. They are a local provider and therefore their content is not near what Dish and DirecTV provide, and it's just not there. So stick with Dish, stick with Direct, stick with streaming, maybe combine an OTA. If you want information on OTAs or over-the-air antennas, we'll do a follow-up Tech Tip Tuesday on that. Yes, stick with DirecTV or Dish. If you're not interested in either of those providers, then the thing you want to look at would be an antenna, what's referred to as an OTA or over-the-air. So you get an OTA, you combine that with your streaming services like Hulu, Prime, Netflix, those providers, put those together, makes a great suite for TV content. The only thing, little sidebar for you guys, is that remember that if you do that, you lose a lot of your live content. So things that broadcast on Fox or CNBC or whatever other channel you're watching online. Last tech tip I wanted to give is actually a follow-up in regard to Greg's comment regarding security. Okay, so if you have been living under a bridge or under a tunnel, you have not heard about the class action going on against Ring. Unfortunately, it has not been pretty. If you look right down here, we have a link right here that will take you to that case so you can learn about it. The fundamental issue here is we're talking about security, guys. This goes right back to that side of securing your network. Okay, making sure that we're changing default passwords. I'm not saying that what Ring is doing is okay, but it comes back to personal responsibility. Okay, we, being not only us as a provider, but you as consumers, you need to make sure you're configuring your network and making sure it's secure. Okay, these instances where people are able to access it remotely, in those cases, things were still set to defaults. These things were not effectively secured. So we need to make sure that we're securing those. We literally just had an install about 2 months ago where we went in, someone who is supposedly a professional here in town, put a new router in, put in new wireless for a client, and left it entirely to default. So I was able to get into their entire network without asking them a single question from their front porch. Okay, so make sure you're looking at your internet security correctly. Examples like this one with Ring, it's the exact situation where unfortunately people's homes were being logged into and video was being captured. Really, really crappy deal. So make sure to keep that internet secure. Thank you very much. Have a great Tuesday.